Piccolo has just unlocked a brand new transformation and it's called, drumroll please, Orange Piccolo. Okay, Toriyama is starting to lose it. First Beast Gohan and now Orange Piccolo?
Losing his mind.
Despite the name though, this power has catapulted Piccolo to the upper echelons of power in the Dragon Ball Super universe. Now before you say,
so he's surpassed Goku?
what? No! You guys need to chill. But I know there's at least one of you thinking right now,
he not beating Goku! Nobody could beat Goku!
Piccolo's new transformation called Orange does bring him much closer to Goku, making him a powerhouse once again. This Orange transformation has been a long time coming. I mean, he went from the Demon King Piccolo to, Pan's green uncle? This dude became the babysitter for all them kids!
So, Mr. Piccolo, what are you gonna teach me today? A brand new technique? How to sense energy? What about how to fly?
Dodge!
Like, literally. As a long-term Dragon Ball fan from the 90s, yes, I must remind you I am old, I'm 30.
Damn!
Piccolo has always been a favorite out of the Z fighters. The rich history he possesses from original Dragon Ball, where he was a villain that turned good, made him a standout character that we would like to invest in. Seeing his multiple layers be cut down like an onion by Goku and Gohan, it made him have a lot of depth and meaning to the lessons he taught us as kids. Let's be honest, man, he was the father we never had. As such, we always wish that Piccolo can keep up with the Saiyans. At one moment, this wish was granted. In the Android saga, he was stronger than them and actually made a difference. But this only lasted an episode. This downward trend continued, as you can see, but the disrespect for his character peaked in Dragon Ball Super. We all know Piccolo has enhanced hearing and also possesses the ability of the demon hand to extend his hands beyond a normal person, unique to him. Piccolo uses his hearing to learn of Raditz' plan to destroy humanity, and remember him listening into Goku and Trunks' conversation about the androids? But here comes Dragon Ball Super, ladies and gentlemen, and you will never guess what they did. He loses to a bug that required advanced hearing of sound to be defeated? You can't make this shit up, people. He doesn't use his superior hearing or demon hands to save himself from getting knocked out in the tournament. Now you might think, oh ABD, this was just the anime. It wouldn't happen in the manga, would it?
Wrong!
It repeats again! Android 17 took the limelight and did the exact thing Piccolo is known for, using his ears to help beat the bug.
Bruh.
But the disrespect ends now, and this is what I'm going to explain in this video. It all changes.
Yes? Good news, everyone!
The writers have finally given Piccolo his transformation that he deserves. They bring back Piccolo's super hearing conveniently in the movie when his mobile goes off, and it allows him to enter the plot to gain a new power. He went from fighting the main villains like Frieza and Cell to just lackeys in the former's army. But after this transformation though, even Golden Frieza would be in trouble. But to explain this new transformation and the monumental change that it will bring to Piccolo's character, we need to explain his story from the very beginning as to why Orange Piccolo even makes sense in the first place. What were the writers thinking? Well, Piccolo is the reincarnation of Demon King Piccolo, who in the early Dragon Ball series terrified everyone, far surpassing Goku, and if not for some, heavy plot armor, he would have killed the young Saiyan easily.
Bruh.
His powers have always been much different to the typical warrior, being able to stretch his limbs and gigantify, which he usually uses to a new extent with his orange form in the superhero movie. Even after gaining a power-up due to the Ultra Divine Water, Goku barely defeated Demon King Piccolo. Piccolo, before dying, spat out an egg containing his essence.
Oh! What the fuck?
No, this egg contained all of his power, this time in a younger form, so his reincarnation could grow much stronger than he ever was. Piccolo Jr. met Goku once again in the tournament and was heavily set up to be Goku's eternal rival before Vegeta showed up. After a long-winded fight between the two, Goku of course beat Piccolo with a gaping hole in his chest. We do also need to keep in mind that this is Piccolo on his own, after Kami defused with him, splitting their power significantly. This already shouted out the potential and foreshadowed Piccolo's power. Dragon Ball Z sees Piccolo team up with Goku as an equal, having a base power level of 408. Piccolo was actually stronger than Goku in this fight, although being weaker in base power. Whilst using the special beam cannon, his power shot up to 1440. This attack surpassed anything Goku and Gohan could produce, managing to kill Raditz and Goku at the same time. After training for a year, Piccolo confronts Vegeta and Nappa, who reveal his base power level to be 1400, more than tripling his previous power level, and this is despite training Gohan at the same time as himself. The two Saiyans also seem to be quite wary of Piccolo the most out of all the Z warriors. Vegeta even decides to order Piccolo's death, prolonging his wish for immortality, proving how dangerous the potential that lays dormant within Piccolo really is. Piccolo was the strongest of Earth's defenders at the time, but had a really unfortunate setback. Well, yeah, Piccolo died and went to train with King Kai, reaching a power level of 260,000. So the guy got more than 70 times stronger on King Kai's planet, despite not going through the gravity training since his Namekian DNA was accustomed to it. In Namek, the Great Elder Guru even foreshadowed Piccolo's immense potential, revealing that if Kami and Piccolo were still fused, the only being that could have stood a chance was a Super Saiyan. Piccolo fusing with the dying Namekian warrior Nail was a testament to Piccolo's limitless potential. Nail was a prodigy amongst Namekians, having a power of 42,000. The resulting power of this fusion even shocks Piccolo himself. Piccolo went from being destroyed by Nappa to fighting Frieza in his second form, impressing Frieza enough to transform even further. The next time we saw Piccolo experience such a huge increase in power was during the Cell Saga, where Kami refused with Piccolo. To clarify, Kami was the original Piccolo, but separated the evil within him so he can become the guardian of Earth. Piccolo Jr. in effect just re-emerged back to his other half, which gives us a clue to how insane Piccolo's power truly is. All this time prior this fusion, Piccolo was fighting with only half his potential. We move forward to Piccolo fighting Android 17 to a standstill, although the fight was it was pretty stupid. Bear in mind, these androids can do this.
For you!
Sadly, Piccolo wasn't able to stop Cell from his further transformation, who then became a completely different beast. Knowing this, Piccolo trains in the hyperbolic time chamber to prepare to fight Cell, boosting his power even further and unlocking more potential, which will eventually help him get the orange form that he just unlocked. Piccolo at this point was stronger than Vegeta, who just attained an even more powerful version fusion of Super Saiyan. Unfortunately, this is the last time we really see Piccolo matching the Saiyans, as he doesn't have any significant power-ups for a really long time. Although Piccolo did kind of blend into obscurity and irrelevancy in Dragon Ball Super, even more so than before, there are a few things we need to consider. Piccolo was able to easily match Gohan as they trained together, and Piccolo even beat the crap out of him so he could re-attain his ultimate form. In the Tournament of Power arc, Piccolo fights alongside his son Gohan, and they stick together through their entire run in the tournament pretty much. They eventually encounter two Namekians from the 6th universe. These Namekians used the fusion technique we mentioned earlier, but this time they used it with their entire race, hundreds of them, just to attempt to stand a chance in the tournament. Despite this, Piccolo still managed to defeat the Namekians with one blast with the help of Gohan. When defeated, they admire his power, admitting like, oh my god, this guy's kinda built different, fam. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a quick comparison, as this will display Piccolo's immense potential and why the orange form makes sense. Compared to these other universe Namekians, Piccolo has only fused 3 times, and one of them he was just going back to his true self and being, whereas these guys fused with a ridiculous amount of Namekians but were still defeated soundly. This shows how the fusion ability with Namekians doesn't make them all as strong as Piccolo. However, at the same time, it gives us an idea to how strong Piccolo can become if he chooses to fuse with other Namekians himself. His potential is truly endless, which ties into Piccolo's new orange form.
Now this potential brings us into the events of the superhero movie where Orange Piccolo is born. Gohan and Piccolo end up fighting Cell Max, a bio-android and an improved variation of Cell created by Dr. Hido for the revived Red Ribbon Army. According to Toriyama, had Cell Max have been completed, even Broly wouldn't have been able to defeat him, who had faced Goji to Blue. However, due to his early activation, he became an uncontrollable monster. Piccolo is obviously not at this power level, but to feel useful, he goes to Dende to unlock his potential, similar to Elder on Namek unlocking Gohan and Krillin's potential. Piccolo's new aura comes directly from the Dragon Balls. Piccolo asked Dende to do it, but since he's the one that created the Dragon Balls, Shenron gets summoned and proceeds to do it for him, giving him something extra special on top. Now, I know what you're all thinking. The dragon can't grant wishes above what the creators can do. Now, obviously, how can the dragon bring someone back to life when Kami and Dende couldn't? Therefore, don't use your brain or your logic here. We don't have room for that.
Okay.
So we have assumed that when this rule of limitation is applied, it only refers to granting power from nothing and destroying something which is beyond the source of its power. When it comes to reviving or giving eternal youth, all of these things were either always there or had been there or can potentially happen. Piccolo asks the dragon Shenron to get his potential unlocked. This parallels Granola and Gas, who asked to be the strongest in the universe, where they gave up their remaining life force in exchange for power. Unlike Piccolo, they asked to be the strongest in the universe, surpassing everyone. This was despite not having the potential latent within them to be the strongest, whereas Piccolo is asking to unlock what is within him already. Granola gave something away to receive something that didn't exist, whilst Piccolo's potential is something within reach and it came from his dormant power that already exists.
I'm confused!
Alright, I get it, we all are. But to make sense of it, Shenron was able to do this because the latest model of Shenron was created by Dende, the child of the great elder Guru. Guru in his lifetime birthed 109 children, including his bodyguard Nail and the young Dende. This is the same Guru who had the power to unlock some of Gohan's dormant potential during the Namek saga. So when Piccolo asks Dende to unlock his potential in the movie, he tells him to ask Shenron to do so.
Confused!
Alright, look, I get it. We all know that Dragon Ball Super isn't perfect and it's retconning the shit out of the story. But what I mean is he used Shenron as the medium to perform this technique, but at a heightened level. Again, this would make sense, as Shenron can do many things beyond and in a heightened sense of a Namekian's abilities. Namekian Namekians can heal, but their dragon can heal to a greater sense to the point of revival. However, the wishing dragon cannot revive a person past their expiry date, which is due to a natural death. This makes sense as death is ordained to the soul. Piccolo unlocking his potential can also be seen as the same as Ultimate Gohan's transformation. Old Kai explained that he would release all of Gohan's dormant power. Gohan's exponentially immense dormant capacities needed several more hours than usual. It just needed a catalyst to unlock it, this catalyst being a wish from the Dragon Balls. Using a wish from the Dragon Balls, Piccolo gains the same power Gohan once did, becoming an ultimate version of himself. As for the name, Toriyama did state it was on purpose since Piccolo is not good at naming things. And that adds up. His main attack is literally called Special Beam Cannon. Anyway, this is the first physical transformation we've seen from Piccolo. He's changed in power before, fusing with Kami for example, but this is a new transformation unique to him. Piccolo just fully roids out when in this form, his eyes turning red, mirroring the red-eyed Namekians from Dragon Ball Online. Of course, this being Dragon Ball, his entire body bulks out as well. And guess what? Piccolo also uses his strongest power whilst in this mode, his clothes beam. Yeah, for some reason his clothes change colour when he enters this state. I mean, don't judge it, it clearly makes perfect sense, right? Oh, and also forget that the Cell Saga said that bulking up actually makes you slower and isn't really a practical power-up. This is something entirely different. On top of this, Piccolo's back also glows with a special symbol representing the pride of the Namekian race, as this symbol also represents Shenron. Using the power of a great Namekian, Piccolo is able to fully utilize his gigantification abilities, even being able to fight Cell giant to giant. And as we explained, Cell Max is no joke, being a match for Goku and Vegeta in their own mastered versions of Super Saiyan Blue. But this gives rise to the question, how strong is Orange Piccolo and his potential? Piccolo is eventually defeated by Cell Max, meaning that yes, he is weaker than Cell Max, and by proxy he is weaker than Beast Gohan. Beast Gohan was portrayed to be Cell Max's equal. Despite Piccolo holding back Cell Max for Gohan to defeat him, based on what we saw, Beast Gohan likely could have defeated Cell Max solo. Toriyama did state that Piccolo is now on par with Goku and co, and given what we know, this means that he can actually fight alongside them against the big villains once again. Despite us saying that Gohan Beast is stronger than Orange Piccolo, they're actually closer in power than you'd think. Throughout Dragon Ball Super, they are portrayed as equals in training and in the tournament. Gohan being a match for Goku with Super Saiyan Blue plus Kaio-ken times 20 means that Piccolo is close to that level, matching Goku in Super Saiyan Blue at least. So if you compare him to Goku and Vegeta at the Tournament of Power, he would be stronger. But if you compare Orange Piccolo to the Vegeta and Goku in the Broly movie, they are on par. This time he is using a tremendous amount of power, so much so is foreign to him. Remember, Goku also struggled the first time he went Super Saiyan, not being able to control it too well. Even Master Roshi could sense that Goku was in uncharted territory and had to be careful, likely meaning he had to hold himself back to keep his sanity. After training with Super Saiyan, he easily outclassed everyone including Trunks, who just sliced and diced Frieza with just a single finger. Piccolo's transformation is more aggressive in nature and the power-up is far more intense than Goku's first into Super Saiyan, so we can assume that if he goes through the same training, he will fully master this new power. Now, you should go and watch this video explaining Beast Gohan, where we go into extreme detail on how it makes sense and just how strong it is.